Rights experts call for second UN decade for people of African descent. A group of United Nations human rights experts has called for a second UN decade for people of African descent, to be held from 2024 to 2033. The experts said that the first UN decade, which ran from 2015 to 2024, had made significant progress in raising awareness of the challenges faced by people of African descent, but that much more remained to be done. The first decade was a time of great promise, said the experts. We saw a renewed commitment to fighting racism and discrimination, and we saw concrete steps taken to improve the lives of people of African descent. However, the experts said that the progress made during the first decade was not enough. We still see widespread racism and discrimination against people of African descent, they said. We still see people of African descent disproportionately affected by poverty, unemployment, and violence. The experts called for a second UN decade to build on the progress made during the first decade and to accelerate the fight against racism and discrimination. They also called for the decade to focus on the following priorities: eradicating racism and discrimination against people of African descent, promoting the full enjoyment of all human rights by people of African descent, ensuring equal opportunities for people of African descent, building inclusive societies for people of African descent. The experts' call for a second UN decade has been welcomed by civil society organizations and activists. This is a critical moment for the international community to recommit to the fight against racism and discrimination, said a statement from the African Diaspora Policy Center. We urge all countries to support a second UN decade for people of African descent. The UN Human Rights Council is expected to consider the experts' call at its upcoming session in September. In addition to the call for a second UN decade, the experts also made a number of recommendations to governments, international organizations, and civil society organizations. These recommendations included enshrining the right to equality in national constitutions, adopting comprehensive anti-discrimination legislation, investing in education and employment opportunities for people of African descent, promoting the participation of people of African descent in decision-making, eliminating stereotypes and negative portrayals of people of African descent in the media. The experts' recommendations are a call to action for the international community to take concrete steps to address the challenges faced by people of African descent. By working together, we can create a more just and equitable world for all.